Today's Kingstonist news is brought to you by Kingston Community Credit Union. Say goodbye to bank fees and hello to fee-free banking with KCCU. I'm Sarah Burtch with Kingstonist News, and here are your top headlines. Today, October 1st, 2025. Via Rail is backtracking plans to launch a Toronto to Montreal direct route pilot project this fall that would skip several Eastern Ontario communities. The service, scheduled to launch on September 29th, was reportedly postponed due to operational constraints with Via Rail's partner, CN. The decision to postpone the pilot project, which was announced barely 2 weeks ago, was met with relief from Kingston and the Islands MP Mark Garretson. The reasoning for accused sex predator Michael Haaima's absence from his trial 2 weeks ago has now been confirmed, albeit without a few details. Haaima, 41, who was facing 98 charges, arrived at Frontenac County Courthouse on Wednesday, September 17th, for another day in the legal proceedings. However, those waiting in the courtroom were told that an ambulance had been called for Haaima. He walked himself to the ambulance that arrived with a police escort, and it was unclear what issue required this medical attention. On Friday, September 26th, court documents obtained by Kingstonist, dated for September 18th, indicate that the defense sought adjournment for their client to, quote, obtain medical attention due to an incident at Quinte, referring to Quinte Detention Center in Napanee. Police did not confirm any other details at this time. A national postal strike has been announced by the CUPW. Canada Post operations are now shut down, affecting millions of Canadians and businesses across the country. This is the second postal strike in less than a year. The current strike is in response to a federal government announcement that service changes are coming, as a result of what the government called an existential crisis. The City of Kingston provided details on how to best provide necessary documents and pay bills, fines, parking tickets, and more while the strike is ongoing. The Frontenac County detachment of the OPP was conducting a ride program checkpoint in the morning hours at the intersection of Latimer and Davidson Roads in South Frontenac Township just before 2 a.m. when a vehicle was stopped by officers at a checkpoint. The stop resulted in officers using an ASD, which detects the presence of alcohol on a person's breath. The ensuing investigation led to 21-year-old Maximus Gill being arrested and charged with multiple counts. The OPP have announced a significant seizure of drugs as a result of a driver attempting to avoid a checkpoint of the OPP's ride program shortly after 2 a.m. on Sunday, September 28th. A car initially failed to stop for officers, but was then stopped nearby, which led to an arrest. As a result of the initial investigation, a search of the vehicle resulted in the seizure of over 450 grams of suspected methamphetamine and over 225 grams of suspected cocaine, with $11,000 in cash. 31-year-old Chanel Birmingham of Toronto was arrested and charged. For more on these stories and other local news, visit Kingstonist.com. Use my code SarahB2025 for 10% off.